So, what I would do if my goal is to lose 50 pounds by then, and I have 8 months to go, now I just divide 50 by 8. Expected loss per month is 6.25 pounds a month. Okay. So, if there's 4 weeks in a month, 6.25 divided by 4, let's just say 1.5 pounds a week. That's not bad. You're talking about 1 to 2 pounds, 1 to 2 pounds a week. And yes, we are writing all over the place because this is part of that, from clutter to clarity, right? Hey, 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 leaders, and welcome to the 17th episode of the Leaders Lab podcast. I'm really excited about today. We are continuing our series. Earlier this month, we started a new series that is primarily focused on being a multi-passionate entre leader and how to not lose balance in the process. And, we've been saying you can be a successful multi-passionate entrepreneur leader and manage multiple brands and businesses, but you must have organization and management skills. And again, we're going to keep giving props to Marie Forleo. She coined the term back in the early 2000s, multi-passionate entrepreneur. But here with Dr. Charity TV and the Leaders Lab, we took it just a little step further and said that we are multi-passionate entre leaders. We are entrepreneurs and leaders in our industry and field. And so I'm very excited about that. 2 weeks ago, we talked about the 5 steps to go from clutter to clarity. Step 1, write them down. Write down everything that's up in your mind. Step 2, review and organize all of that clutter. Review it, organize it, get it together. Step 3, go through the process of elimination. Step 4, identify and categorize the themes that you found in your organization and elimination process. And then step 5, go through another round of elimination, baby. Do it as many times as you need to. And then last week, we actually talked about how to set goals and create an action plan. The 80-20 rule, do you remember that? The 80-20 rule says that 80% of your results will come from 20% of your activities. The 20-80 rule says that the first 20% of the time that you spend planning your goals and organizing your plan will be worth 80% of the time and effort required to achieve that goal. And we talked about Mr. Brian Tracy. He had a quote that said, each minute spent on planning saves 10 minutes on execution. And so last week we went through in-depth details about how to set your goals. We talked about finding what matters most to you. What are your values? How to align your values with your goals. And then after we did that, we said, now you have to clarify your goals. Refine them as much as necessary. And then the third thing was to set your metrics. How will you measure your progress? How will you measure your goals? And set that deadline. You need to set a deadline. You got to make sure that you have a specific amount of time that you want to reach your goal, and then take steps towards that deadline. Then the next thing we talked about doing was creating your action plan, making a list of everything that you will have to do to reach your goal. And then identify potential obstacles, because you want to be ready. This is like your contingency plan, right? You want to be ready for anything that may happen while you're on your journey to reaching your goals. And then after you identify your potential obstacles, we talked about going through your list and prioritizing them from most important to least important. What must I absolutely have to do right now? What is the first thing that I have to do? And then after you have that, you say, okay, what is the next thing that I would absolutely have to do? And so you just prioritize the most important. And that's how you begin to create a sequence of priorities. And so last week, I told you all that I'm going to be showing you a real live example. Hopefully this will work. Hopefully this will work. I am going to switch over to my iPhone 12 Pro Max. And we're going to see if we can do a little overhead feature. So we're going to go over this way. All right. So for the example that I want to use for today's episode is something that I've done probably more often than anything else, which is setting out an action plan for like a new diet or, well, I wouldn't say like a new diet, but I would say for like a new workout routine or a new exercise. Honey, I have set plenty of action plans for those. And I just kind of want to go over my process for how I would do that. So as you see, I just have a regular notebook, starting off with just regular paper. And this is how we have that, the scratch paper. So, like we said in the very first episode of this series, to go from clutter to clarity, you need to just brain dump. So, write all the things out that you want to do. Now, let's say if I was going to create a particular um, eating plan, right? So for me, if you follow my health and wellness, my health and fasting channel, it is like I focus more on ketovore diet and also on intermittent fasting. And so for me, I would put down all the foods that I want to eat. So let me see. I would say I could get beef, chicken thighs. I have my list of for eating. Now, that's just one part. Now I need to go into what my exercise will be, like so what my fitness will be. Okay? So, if I'm going to go into what I want to do for my fitness, I'll say I must have at least 30 minutes of exercise. So I must do at least 30 minutes of exercise a day. How many times a week? I would say 5 to 6 times a week. I can have a rest day. Uh, what else? That's it for now. That's it. Because if I'm just starting out, I want to do something like I said in the very first episode. I want to do something that's going to produce a win. When you do something for yourself that produces a win, meaning it's easy for you, you get it done, you feel good about it. Like you really feel like you have accomplished something, and that's a really good thing. So that's what we want to do. Also, if we're talking about fitness, then we want to talk about health. So now we're on like the third part, health. So what can I do? What daily practices can I do to take care of my health? I need to take a vitamin. I need to drink water. How much water do I want to drink? Usually I try to do 3 to 4 liters of water a day. And I apologize if you hear an echo. I really wasn't trying to have an echo, but apologize if you do hear an echo. So vitamins, water, um, think positive, because this definitely plays a part in case you did not know. Think positive. All right. And so, and then let me just over here, even though we said exercise 5 to 6 times a day, we still need to put up their rest day. Because when we go into an actual calendar, we want to put rest day up there, right? Rest day. Now, this like I do plans, I do health and wellness plans for myself quite often because as a multi-passionate entre leader, someone who has a full-time job and is also running a business, building brands at the same time, and also running a mentor program, my time can get so consumed with everything else that my health could take a hit. And I don't want that because my health is my wealth. So in order for me to continue to build wealth, I need my body to be healthy. So that's why I'm kind of going over this action plan with you as opposed to like a branding plan or any other plan like that. And I can do those for you, but this is the one that is really speaking to me. So I have my eating, what I want to eat, my fitness, how what I want to do as far as exercise, health, how I need to take care of myself. Also, I do prayer, affirmations, and I'm also going to put. Okay, well, that's a part of it. I was going to put meditation, but that's a part of my my prayer, my affirmation. So I have the goal. I have the goal, and I have all the ideas. Right? I just brainstormed everything. So now I'm just going to tear this off. This is why I do stuff on paper. So now, if I know that the goal is December 21st, I'm not December 21st, December, let's just go all the way to December 31st, right? By December 31st, 2021. Let's say that's when I want to do it. So I take a look at I take a look at my calendar. Today's the 28th. All right. Today is April 28th. Let's say I have mm, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Okay, we got about 8 months. So what I would do if my goal is to lose 50 pounds by then, and I have 8 months to go, now I just divide 50 by 8. Or is it 8 by 50? Let me see. 50 divided into 8 equals. All right, so that means my expected loss per month is 6.25 pounds a month. Okay. So if there's 4 weeks in a month, 4 weeks in a month, let's see, 6.25 divided by 4. All right. So now we're talking about 1.5 pounds. Let's just say 1.5 pounds a week. That's not bad. You're talking about 1 to 2 pounds, 1 to 2 pounds a week. And yes, we are writing all over the place because this is part of that, from clutter to clarity, right? So we know the overall goal: lose 50 pounds by by December 31st. And okay, now how are we going to do this? We know the what now. Now we need to go through the how. Okay. So how are we going to do this with our eating? Now, like I told you, I do intermittent fasting. I am a proponent for intermittent fasting because it helped me out so much in 2018 when I first started. Absolutely bananas the results that I have. My weight loss seemed like it was slow at first, and then all of a sudden, whoosh, it just really, really took off. When I added in keto at the time. Now I focus more so on meats, as you can tell from my list here. But so, anyways, so my eating. Am I going to do? Well, for me, I'm just going to be honest with you all. I actually will be doing either OMAD, which is 1 meal a day, um, or the what is called the warrior diet. It's where you fast for 20 hours and eat in a 4 hour window. I do that Monday through Friday. That's what I would plan to do Monday through Friday. This is what I actually do. I'm just showing you guys. And then I do a different type of intermittent fasting, which is the standard 16-8, which is where you fast for 16 hours and then you have an 8 hour in the eating window. I do that on the weekends. Now, remember when I said you have to plan for obstacles? I know that if I go 8 months without cheating, if I go 8 months and I'm just eating, certain things or whatever, just only what's on this list, my body is going to get so adjusted to that it's going to hit a plateau. And that plateau is going to cause me to not have as many wins as what I normally would. So instead of doing that, I usually plan in a cheat meals on the weekends. So, and if I have cheat meals, they're usually one big cheat meal. So it's like OMAD. All right. So I'll have OMAD cheat meals, or if you don't like the word cheat, OMAD free, free meal on the weekends. So that means I can eat whatever I want on the weekends, whatever I want. Either I do OMAD or I'll do 16-8. So I have an 8 hour window where I can eat um, whatever, basically whatever I want. But I usually only end up eating once or twice. I'll probably end up eating like lunch if I'm going out with a colleague for lunch. I'll order something, or if we're going to have dinner later, I'll probably save that cheat meal for dinner, and during the day I'll still be eating my regular ingredients that I have. Okay. So I know what I'm going to do as far as my eating. We already said my exercise. So if I don't want to, it's just about moving, getting yourself moving, having some form of activity for 30 minutes. And so if I decide that I'm just going to walk for 30 minutes a day, that's fine. I can do that. If I want to add in interval running, so I can decide maybe on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm going to do interval running. Interval running is where you walk, jog, run, you however you want to do it that way. So I can do walk, jog, walk, run, and you keep going back and forth with that until you finish your intervals, until you finish your time. You can set whatever intervals you want to set for it. This is just, what you do. So that means that Monday, Wednesday, Friday, maybe if I wanted to do strength training, I could break out my resistance bands, or I could also do body weight training where you're just using, your natural muscles, your body muscles, all of that. So I know here's what I'm going to be doing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And on Saturday, I could just do whatever form of activity I want. On Saturdays, I used to just actually go walk around the city, um, as far as I could go, and then I would turn back around. So you take like you go do some 30-minute activity on Saturday, and on Sunday I would rest. You could change, do whatever it is you want to do, however you want to do it, perfectly fine. Now, again, 50-pound loss by December. I know every month between over the next 8 months, I need to lose between 6 to 7 pounds every week, 1 to 2 pounds a week. My eating Monday through Friday, I'll be doing OMAD, which is one meal a day, or I'll be doing 20 and 4, where I fast for 20 hours and then I eat during a 4-hour window. On the weekends, I would do intermittent fasting of 16 and 8, or just OMAD for that one free meal that I want. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I'm doing some type of strength training where I'm building up my muscles so that my muscles can burn fat and calories for me throughout the day as I'm sedentary, working from home. And on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'll go do interval running. Like I'll have a 30-minute run, walk, that type of back and forth, back and forth. And then on Saturday, just do any type of 30 minutes of activity. It could be yoga, it could be cycling, it could be boxing, which is another one that I usually switch out back and forth with. So I have that as well. Now, now we can go into the meal plans. We know when we're going to eat, how we're going to eat. We know when we're going to exercise, how we're going to exercise. We know what we want to accomplish by when. We have the deadlines. We have little markers, right? So also here, we will weigh in once a week. Y'all, I used to be addicted to the scale. I'm still trying to work on that. Used to be addicted to the scale, so I would like work out all the time. We're not doing that. Okay. So what we're gonna do is weigh in once a week. Let's say I weigh in on Fridays, not on Mondays. I used to make the mistake of weighing in on Mondays after cheat meals. Not the smartest thing. Let's weigh in before the cheat meals. Keep our morale going there. Okay. Now, so let's take a look at our meal plan. Okay. Look at that. Okay. So I told y'all I make these all the time. I didn't even know this was in here. All right. So we had actually, this was for Thanksgiving. I made this. This is for Thanksgiving. Let me rip this out of here. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay. So meal plan. Let's say on Monday for my OMAD, what I want to do is that's gonna bother me. What I'm gonna do is I don't know. I know Friday is chicken wings. So let me go ahead and put this up here. Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday. Sunday is free. Saturday and Sunday are usually free meals. But in case I don't feel like eating out, because sometimes I don't, then I just eat whatever. But Fridays would be chicken wings and roasted veggies. Thursdays would be um, what did I usually do? Oh, Thursdays would be salmon and cauliflower rice. With some type of dessert. I usually make some type of keto dessert like afterwards. It's something super simple, all right? Like a mug cake, or some type of like mousse, like a chocolate mousse whipped up really quickly. That's all. Um, I think I don't know. I'm just writing this down. So we would have like a burger with zucchini fries. I didn't put zucchini on the list, but yeah, you know what it is. So then we could also do steak and eggs. That's usually what I would have most of the time, is just steak and eggs. I really, really, really love steak and eggs. And then bacon, egg, um, cups, like little bacon egg cups. Now, of course, y'all, I know you'll be like, oh, you're not eating enough. Trust me, it is. When you're doing OMAD, you eat a larger quantity to make up for the other two meals that you're not eating at that time. So yeah. So here we are. So I have my Monday through Saturday for the food. All right. Now for fitness, I go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. So Monday, strength training. I'm just going to put strength training. Tuesday, interval run. Wednesday, strength training. Thursday, interval run. Friday, strength training. And then Saturday, let's just say boxing. All right, look at here. Starting to have, now we're starting to line up with things, how we want to have it, how we want to get it done. All right. Now we need to add times to it. Okay, you start adding times. What I'm showing you is how to create a comprehensive action plan, right? So we already have our eating list. We got our goal. We know we broke the goal down from December to monthly, 6 to 7 pounds loss a month. We broke it down to weekly, 1 to 2 pounds loss a week. Weigh-in days on Friday, how we're going to eat, how much water we're going to drink a day, taking vitamins every day, thinking positively, prayer and affirmation. The rest days we're going to take. I mean, we have all of it. We have all of it. So the next thing that we need to do is take it to a calendar. All right, so I'm going to flip it back around now that I have finished showing you just the brain dumping, the from clutter to clarity part, and getting everything organized, knowing what you need to do first, how you're going to do whatever it is you're going to do, setting your deadline, and then breaking the big deadline into mini chunks that are achievable. And then next week, I'm going to show you how to add it to a calendar. Put that thing on a calendar. And since I use my iPad for my planner, I use digital planners. I started about 2 years ago and I'm hooked. I'm hooked only because it's much easier for me to carry around. But I also have a very special surprise for you next week. So make sure you tune in, because while I'm going to be showing you how I use a digital planner, we're also going to see what we can do about showing you how to implement these same practices on a physical planner. For those of you who like to use the paper, you like to feel the paper, you like to hear the pages turn. So I totally understand, because that's me. Sometimes I prefer paper and sometimes I prefer digital. Digital is just more convenient and it's easy to carry. But you saw the brain dump. You saw me do from clutter to clarity. I wrote everything down, right? It still looks a little cluttered right now, but when we add that thing to a calendar, honey, when we add it to a comprehensive planner, it's going to be like, wow, is that what your chicken scratch came out to be like? Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. So remember what I said to you, I've been saying to you for the past couple of weeks. You have to manage it in order to master it. I want you to tweet that, post it, comment. You have to manage it in order to master it. And I want you to put at Dr. Charity TV under it. Next week, like I said, hopefully I will have a very special surprise for you as we wrap up our series on going from clutter to clarity to consistent execution without losing balance. We're going to talk about taking your new plan of action and strategically scheduling it into a comprehensive plan on a planner through one of my own continued personal example. Now I can continue with this weight loss goal planner just because it's easy. And like I said, I do these types of plans all the time. But if you also want to see one for how you plan your projects and brands, then let me know. Let me know. You can comment. You can leave it under Instagram or in the comment section on YouTube. Let me know and I will show you how to do that as well. This is so you can manage your multiple passions and your ideas. So you can go from, like I said before, concept to creation to consistent execution to consistency without losing balance. Listen, subscribe to the Leaders Lab podcast today. Download today's episode, rate, comment, and share so we can continue to reach millennial entre leaders all across the globe. You can follow me on Instagram at www.instagram.com/Dr. Charity TV or simply at Dr. Charity TV. Also, over on YouTube, now that we have the video podcast, you can like, you can share, you can comment, and please make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll catch you next week in the lab.
Thank you for listening to the Leaders Lab podcast. Visit our website at www.drcharitytv.com.